B anchor may not be the most eventful position on Mirage in typical matchmaking, but it can prove to be a challenge, and there is definitely some satisfaction from it when played well. So I want to break down Rush's performance on Mirage against G2 because he was a brick wall. I want to talk about a few of his nades, how he keeps updated with apps, and some sets that he has with his short accomplice. We're all aware of the jump peek from car to look down apps, but are you familiar with this peek from Rush? It is much safer, however it gets much later information. Price you can pay if you give your team good warning and back it up with a kill or two. If your team is aware that this is the peek you're doing as well, they would have the sense to know that the Ts will have to commit some distance up apps to be spotted here. If you find yourself getting tagged with the common peek, maybe start using this one. At least now you know you can change it up a little bit. Next up we have timings with his nades, or teammates' nades. Without fail, if he has a HE and there is no opposition spotted on any other side of the map right now, he will throw this HE between 140 and 130. This often hits an enemy and maybe even multiple enemies. This nade also follows a molotov that is usually placed there. Even if there is no molotov, there is still this HE thrown around this time. This is a big step towards having less utility upon death, plus often does damage. On top of this nade, I want to show you this nice deep app smoke that Rush likes to throw if it's been quiet since any mid or A pressure. On this round we can see JKS staring down ramp while Konfig is looking top mid. This makes Rush throw this smoke. It lands at the entrance of apps, and if you molly the back of apps, T-side has to respect that there could be a player deep inside of apps, and since they have no control elsewhere, they will have to put up a fight early on the B take, which will allow CTs to rotate very early. Next off, I want to highlight a play between Rush and Konfig that they do together. This is often when Konfig has an AWP, and Rush will often boost him onto apps, letting him peek apps insanely fast in the round. Anyone on the receiving end of this will be pretty surprised that there's an AWP so deep in apps already. This doesn't have to be done with just AWPs though. You can of course get aggressive with any weapon. If you're able to communicate this with a teammate, it could be worth trying to get early info or picks when doing this. But beware that if there is a lot of B presence, you're likely going to end up with one kill max. If not, you can flank top mid very early. I just want to show a mouse clip here instead of G2, where Konfig does the boost with AWP and then holds it while Rush begins to push up apps. He gets killed, but Complexity immediately react off of Rush's death, and BlameF and Konfig rotate to side and successfully hold it down. I finally want to talk about what I call Rush's comfort corner. If he knows that he needs to anchor and take as many T picks when they push B side as possible, so that the retake can be much easier. Rush likes to play in front of bench behind this pillar, and he will often be holding a smoke, ready for Ts to execute on the site. This smoke lands in front of him, and it's awful to deal with if you're a T, because you'll have to either wrap through sight, exposing yourself to window short and Rush, or you have to get on top of a car to peek him, but Rush will see you first in this scenario, and he will kill you first. The only issue of this is if terrorists play contact B. However, I have had no clips of Complexity having to deal with the contact B play, because in this scene you can see Rush is very calm and collected in his holds if anyone tries to peek apps. So doing a contact B at this level of play will always lose you numbers before you get in the site. Thanks everybody for watching this one. I know again it was a bit short like the last one. I have been pretty busy lately, so it's been hard to keep up with all the CS. However, I still want to continue doing them weekly like I am now. So if you have any suggestions or want to see anything specific, don't be afraid to post down below what you want to see. And I hope you can enjoy the ones I'm going to do in the future.